We live in the least reached metro area in the United States. Out of around 700,000 people, 80% of them belong to the LDS Church. This area has always been populated by Mormons.
Smith's successor, Brigham Young, led the early Mormons to Utah.
They teach a false gospel.
The Joseph Smith translation changes that in a very interesting way.
After we've come to know the Book of Mormon, the Pearl of Great Price, it's not the Bible anymore.
And what I mean by that is they proclaim that Jesus has not always existed. Jesus himself is not God, but he is a God.
And these three constitute three distinct personages and three gods.
Oftentimes what I'll ask an LDS person is, what do I have to do to go to heaven? And they'll say, oh, you just have to believe in Jesus. And I say, but what if I define heaven as being in the presence of God and being able to enjoy him? They say, well, you also have to do this, and this, and this. And you walk through all these different works. And so it's a gospel of works. I mean, this is known as a church planting graveyard. Because it's a works-based religion, people are afraid to be honest about who they are and the problems that they're really dealing with. Because if you've got a problem, then it means you're a failure in some way and you're not living up to who you should be. And so you end up hiding that. And so what I become for a lot of people is a safe place to go and talk about problems, because I'm outside of their religion, but still I know the Bible. And so they feel like they can come to me and talk to me about these things. And so counseling has become just a great tool of evangelism for me. After I share the gospel and I say, have you heard this message before? They will say, no. People here have not been exposed to the true gospel. I mean, our first convert from Mormonism came just nearly before our 7-year mark of being out here, which is not something that's unusual. There was a survey done asking them to estimate how long was it before you heard the gospel for the first time and you came to faith. And nearly all of them was somewhere between 3.5 and 7 years. So when we planted the church, after a couple years, we had 12 members in the church. And I remember I was confessing to the Lord my disappointment and my dissatisfaction with the fact that I was pastoring 12 people. And I was just knocked down in that time of prayer, because it dawned on me. If God is asking you to spend your life shepherding the souls of 12 people, why isn't that enough? If he's saying, this is the way I want you to glorify me, pour out your life caring for these 12 people, making sure that they make it to the gates of heaven, trusting in Jesus Christ, is that a small thing? I look forward to the day we lay a strong foundation so that in the next generation, Utah can become a hub of the true gospel, so that they can do more than we ever dreamed.